The topic is lambda expression. This is introduced in C++ 11, version 11. And this is a more useful feature. It is useful for defining unnamed function. So we can define the function wherever we like. They are more like inline function, but they will have the features of a function. So let us see the syntax for defining lambda expression or unnamed function. See, this is capture list, next is parameter list, and if required we can write return type, then body of a function. This is the syntax for writing unnamed function. Let us see how to write the functions and how to call these functions and what is the use and how powerful they are. Let us look at this. Now inside the main function I want to write one unnamed function and also call it that will just display hello. Let us write it. There is nothing in capture list, there are no parameters, and this is the body that is displaying hello and end of the definition. Now how to call? So I can directly write down brackets here for calling this function. So this will define the function as well as call the function. Now let me write one more function to show you how it can take the parameters. This is the function which is taking two parameters. This is the parameter list, so I have mentioned the parameters, and here it is displaying the sum of two numbers x plus y. Then how to call this? So there itself I will write down here call 10, 5. So that 10 is passed to x and 5 is passed to y, and they are added and the result is stored. 10 is passed in x and 5 is passed in y, and it will add these two and it will display the sum. Now next I will write on one more function. Now let me write a function which will return some value. So I'll take see, this is a function which is taking two parameters. So here I am passing two parameters and it is adding them and returning the result. See, this is adding and returning the result. I don't have to mention the return type. C++ support auto type of declaration, so automatically whatever the data type is, that data type is written. So I know I am using integers here, so the result will be taken in x, and I can use this x. Now next, one more thing I'll show you. See here, instead of calling the function even, we can assign it with some variable auto f. So this function is assigned to this auto f. Now the name of the function is f. Now I have given some name, though the function is unnamed, but this is a reference to that function. I can call this function by using name f. The function will be called. I have not written the brackets here, so I am not calling it, but I am assigning it to some reference. So this is auto reference or a pointer to a function. Now using that pointer I can call the function. So we can directly call the function by passing the parameters there, or else we can assign it to some reference and then using the reference we can call the function. Now let me show you how we can write the return type. I'll remove this. See here I have an unnamed function. I want it to return integer type. So C++ compiler will by default identify what is the return type, so you don't have to mention it. If at all you want to mention, you can mention it, and return x plus y. So these two values are added and the result is returned. Then here directly I am calling it 10, 5. So this function will be called and it returns some value that is x plus y, and that return value comes into s. So the return result is taken in s. So we can mention the return type also. Now let us see next thing. We can access the local variables of a function inside a named function. So how? Let me explain. Inside main function, if I have some variables, now these two variables are there, then can I access these unnamed variables inside the functions? Let us see. I will define a unnamed function, and here I will say cout a with some space b, and even I want to call the function. So what I expect is this function should display the value of a and b. I want this function to display the value of a and b, but it will not display. We have to capture these variables directly. They are not accessible. So how to prepare capture list? A and b should be accessible here. So let us say a and b. Now they are accessible. Now they will be displayed. See, inside the main function, we are defining unnamed function, so it is more like nested function. Now, next thing, let us see. If I want to display plus plus a or plus plus b, I want to display these values. So, can I modify them? No, we cannot modify these captured variables. For modifying, I have to use a reference for capturing variables. Now these values can be modified. By writing reference, we can modify those values. If suppose we want to access all the things in the scope by reference, just write reference, then we can access all the values. So that's all. This is the syntax. Now I will write the program and show you how we can use this lambda expression and how they work, what is their effect.